how are you? So I'm going to make a couple of recipes for us this afternoon. I have some vegetables that need to be used. Instead of throwing them out, we're going to make some soup with them, which is one of the reasons I love this blender, because we can use our produce and not have it go to waste. Second thing is, I don't need this meal for today, but it'll be done for this weekend, so we can have a quick bowl of soup to warm up for lunch tomorrow or after church on Sunday. And then I'm also going to show you a couple of other quick recipes. So what I'm going to do is get this started, and then I'll pause the video and come back when it's done and come back and edit it and show you the next step. We'll pour the soup off, clean it, make some peanut butter, and then I'm going to show you what to do after the peanut butter is done. You get most of it out of the jar, but not all of it, and a quick easy dessert to do after that. So let me show you what we've got. So far I have a 1/4 cup of broth in the blender and a couple of fresh tomatoes. I had a couple of tomatoes that were done and ready to go. And then on this mat I have some stuff already prepped and ready. So I did so without dumping it. Alright, so I've got some onion chunked up here. Onions, I've got some yellow bell peppers. I have some carrots. Just cut, I clean them, I don't peel them because a lot of the nutrients are in the peel itself. And then I have about 1½ little apples and garlic cloves already peeled, nothing else done. So I can already just dump this right in here. So again, I love our flexible cutting mats. Oh, we lost a carrot off the back, just a carrot. And then we have a big can of tomatoes. All right. Then I'm going to add in some of our Italian seasoning. If you have not gotten into our seasonings, they're amazing. They're all gluten-free. They smell amazing. They don't smell like they've been canned forever and ever. And I'm putting a tablespoon in. One of our caps is a tablespoon. All right, I'm going to put the lid on. You guys remember from the other videos, if the lid is not on, it will not start, which is nice. So we're going to put that in. Now I know that it looks nervous because it's so full, but it's going to blend down here in just a second and we're going to be good. So let me make sure we're plugged in. I have one plug for this side of my kitchen, so everybody gets to take turns. Excuse me, which cord gets used. Turn that on. The lid is on, so it's not giving me any warnings. Just going to turn that to soup and hit start. We'll watch that churn up here for just a second or two. Think about it, it's going to get going, it's going to get up to temperature, and it's going to make soup. So I'll check back with you guys in about 30 minutes when the soup is done. Okay, so the soup is finished. What we're going to do is we're going to take the lid off for just a second. And it won't keep running because the lid's off. You can see it's got a slow simmer going. We're going to add some heavy whipping cream. And I'm adding a 1/2 cup. That's all that was left in there, so that's gone. And then I've got some smoked mozzarella cheese. You can use regular mozzarella, you can use pepper jack, you could use Monterey Jack. There's a number of different things that you could do. So I'm just going to take this chunk. I went up in Wisconsin a couple weeks ago and got some cheese. And I'm just going to break it into pieces. It's kind of like a big giant cheese curd. It's just going to come in here and it's going to break up and melt in here. Once you do this, it's going to finish. It's just asking for add-ins. You're just going to hit start again, or you can pulse and add in whatever else you want. So I want to put in about 1/4 cup of cheese. Of course, you can go a little bit more if you want to. You can also save some of the cheese too on top when you're done as well. Cheese in here. All right, we're going to put the lid back on. Again, make sure it's locked. It'll tell you. Custom blend, we're just going to just do a 1. We're just going to hit start then. You can see that it's breaking up that cheese. You can see it's turned to kind of a creamy texture like a cream soup. It goes for 1 minute on that section when it's on my custom 1 blend. actually counting up. You can also see where this is going. You can see some of the texture, and you can see if the cheese hasn't broken up yet. So if you need to go a little longer, you can always pulse and finish off. One thing I wanted you to notice is everything went in completely raw, and you end up with finished cooked soup. This is actually hot to the touch. You saw steam probably when it opened up. It has like a percolating boil going to it. Love this thing. Alright, and there it goes. So now I'm going to open this back up and show you a spoonful of this so you can see the steam. There goes the little lid. That's the little lid in the back. Pampered, not perfect. I'm going to bring this over and show you guys the soup. Look at that. Yum! And done. Alright, I'm going to put this in a different container and get it on the wash cycle, and then I'll come back on in a few minutes. I'm back. So what you can see here is there's 3 cups of water and a couple of drops of soap, and it's on the heated wash setting. I have to admit this is one of my favorite features, because who doesn't like having things cleaned for them, right? So this is going to go back here behind me. I'm going to leave it so you can see at the same time. And we'll talk in between the noise, because in a minute here it's going to start to churn and stop and churn and stop. One of the reasons it does that is, you know how when you do a blender, things go around the edges and then they get stuck there? That lets it settle again and then rethrows it around the jar. You can see there's still some soup up here in the top. I'll just have to rinse that and hand wash it. This is at 145 degrees, so it's sanitizing at the same time. Got 10 seconds to go. All right, I'm going to rinse it and prep it for the peanut butter, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so I have to admit, one of my absolute favorite things about this is the peanut butter. I know if you've been following along, you've seen me do peanut butter probably 1 or 2 times, but I'm also home alone tonight, and I decided to try something that I heard about a couple weekends ago, and I thought, what a perfect time to do that. And I happened to have finished up the last of my last batch of peanut butter yesterday, so I need some more. So this is just a simple jar of peanuts. You can get these at Aldi or Walmart or wherever you happen to shop. These are the honey roasted peanuts. Last batch I did was just the regular dry roasted. I'm dumping that in there, whole jar. Nothing special, nothing else added. Of course, we're going to recycle that. Here's the tamper that comes with it. Now I want to show you something. If you look here, you can see that the tamper is right about, that's as far down as it can go. Now the lid's not on either, so it's going to actually be up a little bit higher. This is made so that this end of it cannot hit the blades, okay? The reason I say that is the sound it makes is a little loud and intimidating when you get on here and you're afraid you're gonna, the crunching sounds almost feels like you hit the blades, sounds like it, feel like you hit the blade. That's not the case at all. And it helps bring the peanuts down around, because like I said, when it throws it up around the edges, you want to get it back down into the blade. So for this, we're just going straight to the grind setting, okay, and hitting start. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds for this whole batch. Still going fine. Okay, there you go. I had 30 seconds left. I went ahead and stopped it because I can tell there's no more chunks of anything, and you don't want to have to go too far. Nothing wrong if you go to the full time frame, but if it's done, it's done. No reason to keep going. So I'm going to bring this over and show you guys this peanut butter. It is crazy creamy. So I just want to make sure there's nothing left on here so you can see that it's completely, okay, so that's clean, right? Look. You see that dripping off of there? That is absolutely creamy, creamy peanut butter. Look at that. Isn't that crazy cool? All right, I'm going to put this into a container, and then I'm going to show you the next thing we're going to do. So be right back. Okay, so I wanted to show you, I left a good bit of peanut butter down in the jar. Not a ton, just a little bit. So maybe 2 tablespoons down there. All right, to that I'm adding 2 cups heavy whipping cream. And 4 tablespoons instant pudding. I'm using chocolate. So I'm going to use 4. 1, 2, 3. Don't overdo it. 4. And that's roughly about half a package. But instead of guessing, I wanted to measure. Okay, that's it. Putting the lid back on. Now for this one, I want to make sure I'm all canceled out of anything else. And I'm going to pulse it for 10 seconds. Okay, here we go. This is crazy, you guys. Ready? This is nuts. Look, chocolate mousse. Chocolate mousse. You see that? Done. I'm sorry. Chocolate peanut butter mousse. Now, if you want to, if you have some stuff that's stuck to the side of the jar and you want to get that mixed in, you can actually brush it all down with your scraper, put it back on for just a couple of seconds, or just hand fold that in. There's really not a whole lot to that. I'm just going to stir it in. There's no reason to just turn it on again. Look, look. Okay, ready? Oh my gosh. So I'm going to put this in some little cups, refrigerate some of it for somebody else, for everybody else. I'm going to have mine now because I'm home and nobody can stop me. So this is the cooking blender. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, comment, let me know. Contact me. You need one of these. I can help you get it for 60% off right now. So talk to me. See you later.